If you want to take us out of the practice session. As a reminder, everyone, microphones are turned off. Please turn them on when you're ready to speak. Helps with the acoustics in the room. And we'll just wait one moment for people who might be streaming from or participating in the live stream to log in, and then we'll get started. Just one moment. Dr. Morthy, we're ready to begin whenever you are.
Should I not?
No.
We'll check with that for next time. This meeting of the Mahwah Board of Education is open to members of the public to be physically present. Members of the public that attend will be asked to follow the same procedures as all other visitors to our schools. Those procedures can be found on the agenda page of our website. Additionally, the board meeting will be live streamed for viewing purposes only. Anyone wishing to view the meeting may do so via Zoom. The webinar ID for this meeting is 840-8152-5156, and the required password is 587188. All right, call to order. Roll call, please, Mr. Blaker.
Okay. Mr. Kizmarski.
Here.
Dr. Park.
Here.
Ms. Saccone.
Here.
Ms. Davanero. Mr. De Silva.
Here.
Mr. Denise.
Here.
Mr. Gallo.
Here.
Mr. Hughes.
Here.
Student Representative Mr. Edward Kane.
Here.
And Dr. Morthy.
Here. Adequate notice of agenda of this meeting has been provided to the Ridgewood News and the Record, specifying that the Mahwah Board of Education will meet on May 3rd, 2023 in the administrative offices, 60 Ridge Road, Mahwah, New Jersey. A copy was filed with the Township Clerk. Salute to the flag. Mr. Denise, would you lead us, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Denise. So we do need our executive session in the beginning of this meeting tonight. So I need a motion to recess to executive. Mr. De Silva, second by Ms. Saccone. They tell me about 20 minutes. If not, we'll come and update. Thanks.
Congratulations.
I like it much better.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations. go get breakfast.
I always wait till like midday.
Like at least 8 when I get that first cup of coffee. I thought that's your fallback.
That was longer than.
Dr. Morthy, before we
Yep.
come back, I just want to recognize that Ms. Davenero joined the dais while we're in executive session. And I'll make that recording on the on board minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Blaker. All right, so apologies, but we are back, and I need a motion to reconvene to public action meeting. Mr. Hughes, second by Mr. Gallo. All right, agenda questions. Please limit your questions at this time to resolutions under new business on this agenda. As a matter of fairness, you are asked to limit your questions to no more than one and your remarks to no longer than 3 minutes. If you are here representing a group, please identify yourself, the group, and your position in the group. If you are here as an individual, please provide your name and address. This section of public participation will be limited to 15 minutes. Please specify the resolution you are referring to in your question. All right, I need a motion to open to the public. Mr. Kaczmarski, second by Mr. Hughes. All right, we are officially open to the public. All right, seeing no one coming forward at this time, let us close the meeting to the public. Mr. Kaczmarski, second by Ms. Cone. All right, Dr. DeToro, your report this evening.
Yes, thank you so much. There's a number of things that I would like to celebrate that took place in the district over the past couple weeks. Most recently on Monday, it was Principal Appreciation Day. We have a number of administrators in our crowd, so perfect timing. This is a portion of what I sent to the district, and I felt it was appropriate to read to the board. Building principals, assistant principals wear numerous hats. They're charged with being instructional leaders, goal setters, collaborators, health and safety monitors, and the voice of the school with parents and the community. As we are all well aware, these are not easy tasks. I'm truly grateful to work alongside individuals who have, and continue to be, committed to doing all this and much more at a high level. Individuals who are constantly advocating for the students and staff with whom they serve. To all the principals and assistant principals here in Mahwah, thank you. Tuesday was Teacher Appreciation Day, as well as next week is Teacher Appreciation Week. So, what we sent to the district for the teachers, a portion of it, the Mahwah teachers are the reason that our students have grown, learned, and developed into the individuals they are, ready to take the next step in life. Whatever that next step might be, college, the trades, military service, or other professions. All of our students are able to benefit from the collective dedication of our Mahwah staff, who are committed to maximizing each and every student to their fullest potential along the way, from school to school, class to class. Teaching is the one profession that creates all other professions. To the Mahwah teachers, know that you are appreciated, valued, and most importantly, make a difference each and every day. As I said with perfect timing, there's something called the Bergen County Teacher Recognition Program. This program was developed in 1985 for the purpose of acknowledging teachers who exhibit outstanding performance. Mahwah has not participated in this event until this year. We believe that it is time to join this cadre of county-wide recognition by honoring some of our own. According to the program's guidelines, each school district is invited to select teachers and certified staff members to be recognized for their achievement. Nominees must have earned tenure in their position. The staff was invited to nominate a teacher or staff member they felt should be honored. The criteria was the following: use of effective instructional techniques and methods, establishment of positive classroom climate and rapport with the students, development of feelings of self-worth and a love of learning in all students, setting high expectations, ability to increase student achievement in a student-centered learning environment, ability to contribute to quality professional development in Mahwah, and an ability to use educational technology to effectively support learning. The nominees came in. There was then a committee that was assembled at the building level involving teachers, administrators, a parent representative, some supervisors, and these are the 2023 Mahwah Public School Teachers of the Year. At Betsy Ross, first grade teacher, Allie Bauer. At George Washington, third grade teacher, Christine Petrowski. Lenape Meadows, first grade teacher, Jenny Lederer. Joyce Kilmer, social worker, Craig Alfano. Rampo Ridge, sixth grade social studies teacher, Michael Feeney. And at Mahwah High School, special ed ELA teacher, Carol Farrell. So I just wanted to congratulate them. They will be honored at the Glen Point Marriott later on in May with their colleagues around the county. So we're very excited to be a part of this celebration, and it's hopefully one of many to come. So a couple athletics updates. Our varsity boys lacrosse qualified for the quarterfinals of the county tournament. They lost to the second seed 12-7, but they are finishing up their regular season awaiting seeding for the state tournament. Steve Sciano became the fourth player in program history. Eddie, am I taking your stuff?
No, you're good.
All right, good. Halfway through, I was like, Eddie might have this. So Steve is the fourth player in program history to record his 100th career goal in a victory over Lakeland Regional, in which he broke the program record for goals in a single game. Our varsity girls lacrosse is currently in the semifinals of the invitational bracket of the Bergen County Tournament after defeating Rutherford yesterday. They are finishing up the regular season play while awaiting state tournament seeding. Our varsity baseball is awaiting seeding at the county tournament while involved in league play and will qualify for the state tournament later this month. Our varsity softball qualified for the county tournament. They are currently in contention for the Big North Division title and awaiting seeding for the state tournament as well. Our track and field had boys and girls qualify for Penn Relays in Philadelphia, great city. They have completed their dual meet season and are now prepping for their invitational season, which includes league, county, and state champs. Varsity boys is currently engaged in league play and awaiting county and state seeding for tournaments. And last but not least, our varsity golf, both boys and girls, have finished up their regular season and are also awaiting county and state championship tournaments. So congratulations to all the athletes and the coaches. Thank you so much for all that you do, and there's a lot to celebrate.
Thank you, Dr. Totoro, for your report, and congratulations to all the teachers that you highlighted, and who will be hopefully enjoying their evening and getting well-deserved awards. All right, so Mr. Bleeker, you have our final budget presentation tonight. Turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. As Dr. Morthy had said, on tonight's board agenda is going to be the final adoption of the budget for the 23-24 school year. Tonight's presentation is going to serve as a budget hearing as well as a summary of the presentations I've given over the last 3 meetings. So as I've just mentioned, tonight is going to be a summary of what has already been discussed on the last couple of meetings. March 8th meeting, we discussed some of the revenue source and the tax impact for the budget. At the 29th meeting in March, we discussed special revenue, special education, operation capital projects. At our most recent meeting on April 19th, we discussed benefits and personnel, and tonight is going to be a summary and adoption. After tonight's adoption, we are going to post the budget online, the user-friendly version of the budget. It's a requirement per state statute that we make it available for members of the public, so it will be posted within 48 hours of tonight's meeting. And we'll take the necessary steps to close out the budget process for the year. I do want to say that going back to the March 8th meeting when we first adopted the preliminary budget at that time, it has been sent down to the county office. They gave it their thorough review as well. A couple of minor comments that they came back, a couple of additional information that they asked for on a handful of items, but it did successfully pass their review as well. Hence, we're here for this evening. So, Touching base on some things that we have shared already, tax levy for the operating portion of our budget is going to be just under $69 million at $68,832,000. This does represent a 1.79% increase from the prior year. Traditionally, sometimes we're used to seeing a 2% increase there. However, because of some state mandates, particularly with something called Chapter 44, we were required to decrease what our operating tax levy would be slightly from what the current year is. For the debt service portion of our budget, this is the other part of the budget that's funded from the tax levy. We have $558,000. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few slides. From state aid, we have approximately $4.5 million. That is a combination of state aid that we get each year, as well as some aid that we get from extraordinary aid, which is a one-time aid that we get each year. We have other revenue of interest, miscellaneous revenue, SEMI, which is Special Education Medicaid Initiative. That's a federal allocation that we receive each year of $231,000. Fund balance, which is money from other budget years, including this one that we are required to put into the budget of approximately $3.6 million. And then special revenue of $670,000, which again I'll talk a little bit more about in a few slides, for a total budget submission for the 23-24 school year of $78,470,676. Tax impact, as I had said, now this will look a little bit different. Many of the times we're talking about our budget in a fiscal year, which is July through June. When we talk about the tax impact, we are now referring to calendar year. So for the calendar year 2023, and working with the Township, we have a net valuation taxable for the Township of $5,791,000,000. It's an increase of about $5 million from the prior year. When you look at this as far as the average value of a home, which is about $479,000 for the Township, which is an increase of $1,700 from last year. We have, for every $100,000 that the home is valued, the tax impact for the school, for the K-12 school alone, is $1,192. When you look at it for the average home, it's about $5,700 or $63 increase from the prior year. Enrollment, something else that was discussed at a prior meeting, and again, it plays an impact when we're looking at the budget and planning for the next year. As of October, which is the year that we use historically to gauge how our enrollment has developed or grown or decreased from year over year, we had 2,678 students in grades pre-K through 12. Those are in-district students. That does not include those that might attend an out-of-district placement. That's an overall decrease of 18 students from the prior year. And down below, we do have 112 students that are at an out-of-district placement, 71 being special ed, and 41 students who are general ed students at the high school level who elect to attend one of our county VOTEC schools or the Bergen County Academies. For debt service, as I mentioned before, debt service, this is our payment that we're required to make on any principal and bond interest payments that we have for any debt or bonds that were previously approved by the Township, by the members of the Township. We have one bond that is currently outstanding, which we're going to make the final payment on for next year. We had another bond that we expired and we made the final payment this year. Hence, in the other screen, there was a 50% decrease year over year. That reason, again, because we had two bonds for this year, one of which we made the final payment. Next year, we have the final payment on the last outstanding bond that we currently have. For next year, that payment is going to consist of $545,000 in principal and about $13,000 in interest. Special revenue, this is a dedicated area of the budget where we account for any state, federal, or local grants that we receive. For federal grants that we're expected to receive, which is IDEA as well as ESSA, $658,000 is what our budget is going to be. And for state non-public, so these are funds that we receive from the state for any non-public schools that are in the Township. We are the pass-through for those schools and the custodian of those monies. We then work with the non-public schools to help expend what those funds are for. The three schools that we primarily work with, the Sage Day, Young World Day School, and Apple Montessori, combined total for, from the state, $12,450. Overall, the combined special revenue is just over $670,000. Out-of-district costs, as I said previously, we have approximately 112 students who are out of district, 71 in special ed, and 41 going to some of the county schools. For next year, the combined tuition, we do pay tuition for both those attending the county schools as well as for the private school students, is just under $6.5 million, $6,478,000. Employee benefits. Employee benefits is one of the largest single areas of the budget. This is where we account for health benefits, prescription and dental benefits that are available to our staff, any tuition reimbursement benefits that they're eligible for, as well as accumulated sick time when an employee retires that they might be eligible for. Social Security and Workman's Comp is also in here. So it's a wide range of items that are benefits for our employees. For 23-24, which represents about 13.6% of the total operating budget, we have a budget amount of just over $10.5 million. Staffing, again, another probably the largest section of the budget is where we account for salaries for our staff for next year. For 23-24, it's approximately 51.8% of the total operating budget, or just over $40 million. This encompasses 506 staff that are across 3 collective bargaining associations, the MEA, the Administrators Association, and the Supervisors Association, as well as any independent contracts that there might be. Paraprofessionals and other costs represent the other stipends that we offer to our staff, coaching stipends, extracurricular stipends, things of that nature. Okay, transportation, we spent a lot of time at our last board meeting talking about transportation. We gave a presentation dedicated to it, but a couple highlights from that, as well as some from the budget and the fiscal perspective as well. For the 23-24 school year, we have a transportation budget of about $6.6 million, or 8.6% of the total budget. We have approximately 2,000 students who are eligible for busing, a little bit over 2,000. And we bus them over the course of 48 routes that are to from our 6 in-district schools. So those are 48 routes going into those schools, 48 coming out each day. And of those, the majority are done by an outside contractor, but we do have several that are done internally by our own staff and our own vehicles that we have. We do maintain a fleet of 9 buses. Out-of-district students, we also have approximately 48 routes that do those 112 students that I had spoken about earlier. And we have our own internal fleet of 9 buses that we maintain. Okay, and one of the last areas is capital projects. Well, I wanted to put this in here because although we did not allocate in the 23-24 school year budget a direct pull or withdrawal from our capital reserve to fund anything, we do have a couple of capital projects that are currently ongoing, which we are looking forward to their completion. One of which being the grandstand replacement. I'll stay here just for one moment. Since our last meeting, a lot has happened. If anybody has been over there lately, we have had a lot of the equipment and materials for the bleachers has been delivered. They're starting to put that together as well. The press box also has been delivered and lifted into place. They're doing some of the, again, assembly of that right now, and we're anticipating it wrapping up in the next couple of months and being ready for the fall sports season. We have our track resurfacing, which is going to be underway this summer as well. We're coming at the very end of the exterior window replacement and storefront replacement, where we did a couple sections at Betsy Ross, George Washington, Rainbow Ridge. HVAC project that will be happening this summer at George Washington School. And then we are also in the planning and design phase for a very similar HVAC project over at Betsy Ross School as well. That concludes the summary of the last several board meetings and presentations that I've done. Just want to take a brief moment. The budget process is one that does encompass and goes over several months. A lot of people are involved. Just want to very quickly thank them all. Of course, the Finance and Facility Committee, Central Office, Administration, Child Study Team, the Principal, Supervisor, and of course those staff in the Business Office for helping put everything together for the 23-24 school year budget. And with that, I'll end with any questions from the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your report this evening. Anything else? Very good, thank you. Our Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Fair, your report this evening?
Yes, I do. So I want to begin with highlighting two of our teachers at Mahwah High School. Mrs. Heather Torino is a business teacher at Mahwah High School who also serves as an advisor of our DECA Club, which is a business-related organization. She's also a senior class advisor. So I wanted to highlight her because recently Heather was asked by the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis to do a 1-hour presentation to high school students across the nation to review AP microeconomics via Zoom in preparation of this year's AP assessment. We are honored to have Mrs. Torino represent Mahwah in a national way, and we send her our congratulations. It was a huge deal. The second piece, I want to highlight Ms. Fang Bian. She's our teacher of Chinese at the high school. ACTFL, which is the American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Languages, is an organization that works to improve and expand the teaching and learning of all world language at all levels of instruction, and serves as the world language best practice with regards to providing resources and guidance in language acquisition for our world language-based instructional programs. We just learned that Ms. Fang Bian, our teacher of Chinese, was recently notified that her session submission, task-based teaching using the World Cup for Language Connections, has been accepted for inclusion in the ACTFL program, where Ms. Bian will be representing our district at their conference in Chicago in November. So again, more national recognition, which is huge. This presentation cites her work with students here at Mahwah High School, where she was able to pull video clips from the World Cup, obviously, and have students utilize their domain-specific vocabulary, bringing a real-world situation to life, using current topics relevant for proficiency-based learning, enhancing and expanding multilingual proficiency through community and cultural experiences. So congratulations to Ms. Bian, and congratulations on growing our Chinese program. The second piece is we wanted to welcome members of our administrative team that we are recommending to the board this evening, and proudly doing so. First, we have Dr. Karen Diavino, who we are recommending to the board as our interim assistant principal. Dr. Diavino, if you could just stand and wave. There we go, hi. Dr. Diavino is a retired superintendent. You can sit and relax. Yeah, you're good. Who served in that role in Barnegat Township and most recently retired from Vernon School District, and comes to us with a range of leadership experiences. Most recently, Dr. Diavino has served as the interim director of special services for West Milford School District. Through the interview process, Dr. Diavino proved to be a leader who's looking to not only maintain the current role, but to make key contributions to the culture and programs at Joyce Gilmer School. Dr. Bowie, the principal, who's sitting aside Dr. Diavino, believes too that Dr. Diavino would be a strong partner in continuing the initiatives that are currently in place in the building, and we certainly agree. So we want to formally welcome you, Dr. Diavino. The second piece is we started a pretty expansive interview process for 2 new assistant principals at Mahwah High School. So as a leadership team, we obviously recognize that the hiring of our 2 new assistant principals at the high school is an optimal opportunity to continue the great work going on in our high school, but also to continue to build a culture amongst our staff and programs. So through this process, we sought 2 individual leaders who we believed would ultimately form a partnership that would assist Mr. Pascal in balancing a rigorous academic environment and with an instilled compassion for students' well-being. In a review of 125 received resumes, 30 in-person initial meet and greets, which then resulted in a full panel interview, which included administrators and Mahwah High School teachers, of 8 candidates, and then 4 finalists, we are excited and proud to recommend to the Board of Ed the following 2 hires as our new assistant principals of Mahwah High School. So we'll start with Mr. Craig Jandoli. If you could just stand and do the ceremonial wave. Thank you, Craig. Mr. Jandoli comes to us with years of assistant principal experience in Hawthorne Schools, Don Bosco Prep, and currently at Nutley High School. Mr. Jandoli earned his bachelor's degree from Kean University in special education, and his master's degree from American College of Education and Educational Leadership. Ultimately, Mr. Giandoli's balance of humor and care made him a unique consideration in that he showcased his understanding of the district's educational philosophy, but also demonstrated an empathy when working through job-related scenarios that is so vital to being a part of our leadership team. Mr. Giandoli's references cite him as someone who has a strong work ethic, who can navigate difficult conflict with tact, and who ultimately cares about students in all decisions that he makes. We look forward to Mr. Giandoli being a part of our leadership team. Should we do a clap? Dr. Davian, I apologize. Can we do a clap
I'm
for
going to do
Dr.
another
Davian?
clap.
Yes. All right. Lastly, we have Mr. Michael McCabe. Mr. McCabe has served as a teacher of social studies and an instructional coach for his building at Northern Highlands Regional High School. Mr. McCabe earned his bachelor's degree in secondary education with a history minor and received his master's of arts in history from William Patterson University and his master of arts in educational leadership from Rampo College. Throughout the interview process, Mr. McCabe was able to demonstrate an understanding of people, which made him surface as a match for our district. From our interviews, it became clear that Mr. McCabe's teacher leadership opportunities assisted him and prepared him to work through a range of circumstances that he may very well face as an assistant principal here at Mahwah High School. Through our collaborative work through scenarios in our final round of interviews, Mr. McCabe was able to spotlight how he could uniquely contribute to Mahwah High School and its trajectory forward. Mr. McCabe's references shared that, quote, Michael is exactly how he presents himself. He is great and will make your school a better place through his leadership. We look forward to having Mr. McCabe and Mr. Giandoli work alongside Mr. Pascal in the months ahead at Mahwah High School. And that's my report.
All right, thank you very much. Do appreciate that. And welcome Dr. Diavino, Mr. Giandoli, and Mr. McCabe. It's going to be a very powerful team there at the high school. I see that, John. I see that, Mr. Pascal. All right, my report. So quickly, I just wanted to highlight, I think Mr. Kane, are we 48 days to graduation? Because I saw it was 50 days, right, on Monday. So I think it's 48 days, I think, to graduation. I wanted to just highlight some of the schools that our, high schoolers and our seniors have gotten into. I mean, it was on the Twitter feed. It's just really amazing. And I quickly want to go through. Northeastern, Lehigh, Hopkins, WPI, Penn State, University of South Carolina, University of Delaware, JMU, Ramapo, Sacred Heart, Mount Holyoke, Princeton, Northwestern, Georgia Tech, NC State, Vanderbilt, Rowan, Florida State, Rutgers, Keene, LSU, Villanova, GW. And our own Mr. Kane will be going to Wake Forest. Congratulations. And Ryan, who's our other student representative, I think it's University of Pennsylvania. Is that correct? Yes. So tremendous schools, and congratulations to all the seniors, and the countdown begins, 48 days to graduation. It's an exciting time, so enjoy it, because these are really important memories that you create, and enjoy your time. And I guess you have to take a few AP exams and all that, but enjoy your time. All right, congratulations to those Thunderbirds inducted into our World Language Honor Societies. That was going on. Our DECA students, I guess led by Miss Torino, you just said, right? They attended their national competition in Orlando, Florida. We also had the Thunderbirds competing in the Scholastic Regional Class A at the 2023 Mid-Atlantic Indoor Network Winter Guard Championships in Toms River, with the performance of Come Fly With Me. If you haven't seen it, actually on the Twitter feed, it's actually very good. In track and field, a few athletes to mention here. The 4x400 girls relay team. I think I've said these names multiple times because they have multiple recognitions. Sienna Cannonberg, Harley Taylor, Zoe Merriman, and Allie Clanky. They got 6th place finish at the Bergen County Relays. Our boys shot put relay team of Demetrius Hester, someone known to Mr. Hughes, Andrew Hughes, and Anthony Di Pasquale. So congratulations, Chris, to your little bro, for placing 6th. They also placed 6th at the Bergen County Relays, and then the boys javelin relay. George Kalkanis, Demetrius Hester, and Michael Singoli. And they were 1st place finish at the relays, and a total combined throw of 513 feet, which broke the previous county record of 511 feet. So now Mahwah holding a county record. Another accolade. Congratulations. So again, for principal appreciation, thank you to all our principals and assistant principals in this district. Welcome to the new ones joining us. And thank you for your leadership and guidance, because you're really a tremendous group, and we really do appreciate the direction that the district is going in under your leadership. Thank you very much. And for Teacher Appreciation Week, you know me, I like my quotes. So here we go. Dan Rather said, "The dream begins with a teacher who believes in you, who tugs and pushes and leads you to the next plateau, sometimes poking you with a sharp stick called truth." And then another quote was, "A good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning." I think all of us probably have teachers that we value, appreciate, who helped us push to the next level. And I know my children who went through Mahwah Public Schools have those special teachers in this district. So again, thank you to all the teachers who come every day, show up for our kids, and support them through their academic process. We really do appreciate it. All right, the only other thing, did I have something else? No, I think I'm done. All right, that was it. So let's move on. Board committee reports. Ms. Daviniero. We would have missed our community corner today.
Very quick update for me today. In the transportation world, I just wanted to thank Mr. Bleeker and Ms. Spindler for their presentation at the last meeting. At this point, what we're doing is they're meeting together to kind of map out what their suggestions for what our next steps should be before we meet together as a committee again. So we're trying to get a meeting on the calendar in the next 2 weeks to meet as a committee to really map out what the end of the school year looks like, and then going into next year. Some of the things that we talked about, opting in, opting out, et cetera, et cetera. So they will come to the committee with what their suggestions should be. They'll give us options of what we can review, and then we'll review it together and be able to talk about that at the next meeting. From Access for All, I just want to say congratulations to them. They are celebrating 7 years since their inception at the end of this month. So we're very excited. 7 years of doing work that is very important to the community and continuing to do that work going forward. They have a calendar of events now set through August, which is amazing. So I will be submitting that to our calendar of events that'll be available on our website to keep track of. Community Corner, just have a few things. Registration for Summer of Music program is now open. So the classes are running, there are 11 sessions, 30 minutes each. There are several classes that you can pick from, whether it be piano or guitar based, which is just a personal hobby that you may have, or continuing work on the instrument that you're playing in school to keep on top of it before going into next year. That registration is available along with the rest of our summer programming. Rampart Middle School Gifted and Talented Art is doing an art show at Town Hall on 5/18 between 4:30 and 6:30. And then their art will be on display through the middle of June, so anybody who's at Town Hall can go and see it also. Family night at our elementary schools is happening on 6/8. Family night is a great opportunity to go to the school, see what your kid's been working on all year, mix, mingle, talk to the teachers, kind of wrap up the year. It's also a wonderful opportunity for parents to check the lost and founds themselves. Every year we have jackets, hoodies, etc. that my children are gone forever. I walk into the school and it is like right there on the table. As we move towards the end of the school year, just a reminder, this is the time to look for all of your library books that belong back to the school library and to start getting them back in. I already got the notice about Mason's book, so I'm sure that other people have also. So if we start looking now, we can get them in by the end of the school year. A little bit Joyce Kilmer heavy, but the JK play is this Friday night at 7 p.m. They're putting on The Brave Little Tailors of Transylvania at Joyce Kilmer. They've had rehearsals all week. It is very cute and very fun. So it's going to be a great event for anybody who can make it. Joyce Kilmer Color Run is this Saturday morning after a rain delay from last weekend. Dr. Bowie's in the crowd. He is our guest dunk tank volunteer for this weekend, and really probably the driver of a lot of our fundraiser, because the top 10 fundraising students get the chance to dunk him in the dunk tank. And that is a driver like I've never seen before. So thank you so much. We always appreciate Dr. B and his dedication to the students. He would truly do anything for the kids of Joyce Kilmer, and does not go unnoticed. So thank you so much, and I can't wait for Saturday morning. I am a top fundraiser at this point, so that I can have the opportunity. And then just a reminder, as we come up on the end of the school year, most schools are now setting up their volunteers for HSOs for next year. Please step up, please volunteer, even one event or a couple of hours. A very special thank you from myself to any volunteer who has stepped up this year. It is astronomical the amount of work that goes into some of the events that we put on at the schools or extracurricular activities. Dr. B and I are in the trenches together right now trying to get through that marathon of May and June at the end of the school year. And it could not happen without the volunteers who step up to help. So thank you so much to those who give even a small part of their life back. The Joyce Kilmer form is out, the Google Doc, for anybody who wants to volunteer for next year. So is the Ramp Ridge Middle School one. So just a very big thank you to that. And then just my normal registration for fall sports is open on TNYSB, closing in June, so this is the time to register for your fall sports. That's it for today.
Thank you, Ms. Davenero, and my apologies, Mr. Kane. I should have seen if you wanted to go first. Sorry. But so why don't we go to our student representative, Mr. Kane, for his report.
Well, kind of stole my thunder with a couple of the events. That's all right. So obviously there's a lot of senior events going on right now. Upcoming, we have a movie night voting. I'll use this, I guess. So that's going on. We're in the second round of voting. That closes tomorrow, actually. Currently in the T3 gallery, there is a small art club exhibition called Paradox, and later in the month we have the official big art show going on. Last Friday was Shakespeare Day, so English classes in their periods would go to the auditorium. The drama club, the theater club put on kind of contemporary versions of Shakespeare plays, as well as a couple musical performances and poem reads. And the SGA Executive Board election process has begun, so people are trying to take my spot for next year. And so you'll have 2 new student representatives for next year that you'll know about very soon. That's all I got.
Thank you. Big shoes to fill.
Yes, very.
Thanks, Ed.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night. All right. Other committee reports. Mr. Denise, policy?
Yeah, policy has 9 policies or regulations on tonight's agenda for first reading. The first 2, policy and regulation 3230, outside activities, and policy and regulation 3281, inappropriate staff conduct, only had minor language changes. Policy 3282, use of social networking sites, has been revised to include that when using personal social network sites, school staff members must make clear that they are not speaking on behalf of their representative school or the district unless authorized to do so by the superintendent or designee in any correspondence, including but not limited to emails, posting, blogs, and social network sites. Policy and Regulation 3321, acceptable use of computer networks / computer resources by teaching staff, has been revised to include a prohibition on using offensive language, images, innuendos, etc. when using the computer network. Policy 3351, healthy workplace environment, has been revised to include what is considered to be unacceptable conduct. Regulation 3362, sexual harassment of teaching staff complaint procedure, has been revised to include a definition for hostile environment, sexual harassment, and also to delete some ambiguous language pertaining to the investigation of sexual harassment. And then the last three, policy 3381, protection against retaliation, policy 4425, work-related disability pay, and policy 4437, military leave, had only minor language changes.
Thank you very much. Mr. Denny's Policy Committee's been busy. Thank you. Mr. Gallo, any reports this evening?
Very brief report to update the public on the progress of our negotiations with the NEA. We met again last evening. We continue to dialogue with them constructively on arriving at a settlement that ensures that the district can continue to recruit, retain, and develop the highest performing educators available. And that is our goal, and we expect we will be meeting again next week, and we'll keep the ball rolling. So.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Gallo. Anyone else? I'm just going to have a quick from instruction and curriculum. I just want to bring your attention to 17J, the creation of the positions for internship and externship program coordinators. I mentioned this in my last report that we had several students now, I think it was upwards of 40 or so. So these positions just allow oversight in the implementation of the internship and externship experiences through the Thunderbird Partnership Program as aligned to our career pathways. So I just wanted to highlight that that was something on the agenda tonight, and I can personally say, and I think as a committee and a board, we're very excited by the direction that this is going with internship and externship and real life experiences for our students. So thank you very much, Mr. Pascal and his team regarding that. All right, should we go to minutes? Board member remarks, all right? Do we have board member remarks? Remarks?
Yeah.
Mr. Kismer, well, actually, Mr. Kismer, I also wanted to know, do you want to have a report? The liaison?
I'm going to tie my remarks.
Nice, excellent, okay. Excellent.
I will just start, I was not at the last meeting, so I just wanted to put on the record my congratulations to Mickey McFerrin and Liz DeJean on their retirements. I've known Liz for almost 20 years now. Our kids went to preschool together. She was my daughter's teacher, so it's well-earned, well-deserved retirement. And for Mickey, well, Mickey and I go back since I was a kid and chasing me around town on my bike and skateboard and getting into all sorts of trouble. So I've known him most of my life, and also, again, a well-deserved retirement. With regards to town council, I'm happy to see on the agenda item 17T and U, the shared service agreement with the township. This year we took a chance and took the paving projects that were going on in the school district and tacked them onto the township's bid for economies of scale, and it paid off well. The estimate from our engineer, which again is a pretty conservative estimate, is $310,000. The bid came in at $254,000. If you went to an outside contractor, I'm sure that number would have been significantly higher than $310,000. So from a savings perspective, the taxpayers are making out, the school district's making out. I think it's a great partnership. I think there are a few other ideas I may have that we can find ways to partner and have some more savings. So I look forward to that, but I thank the board for coming along for the ride. I thank administration for their thoughts on doing this. It's worked out well. Which goes into the next subject, is the budget. Kyle, it's a
fantastic budget. You should be commended for your work on that, you and your team, administration, and their direction on how to do this. This year's budgeting, and obviously schools are weird because it goes from July, but the inflation that has been tacked into everything that goes on in the school district, outside of salaries, is significant. And the fact that we came in under 2%, regardless of Chapter 44, the fact that that has occurred without a decrease in services, our teachers are obviously continuing being paid, we're negotiating a contract from there. But the fact that all that occurs under 2% is a testament to the work that goes on in this building. The direction that's gone out to our building principals to tighten their belts as well. So, but again, to not lose services and also looking at that and seeing we are a district that has not taken out debt in 20 years, or new debt in 20 years. We are almost debt free, and that says something, the fact that we've been able to upkeep everything we've done in the past 20 years, but specifically if you go to the past 5, the amount of work that's gone into this district, including ESSER funds, capital reserves, maintenance reserves, the other reserve we have escapes me right now, but they've been used correctly in the upkeep and the advancement of this district, to the point where we also have beautiful new bleachers for the first time in 60 years. They look fantastic. Mr. Pascal, I start the petition tonight for the class of 24 to have their graduation out there on that field.
Wow.
That'll be the last time I say that. But it's just things like that, and the paving and the HVAC.
Roofs.
This district is operating on a very high level, and again, with no new money in 20 years. Now, obviously, if we could talk about a referendum at some point, let's do that, but not today or this year. But congratulations and well done. So that's my report.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Mr. Wisniewski. Mr. De Silva?
Yeah, so just real quick, I did attend the Foreign Language Honor Society inductions last week, and it was my first experience at that event, and it was really cool to see the number of kids that are involved, particularly in the Chinese program, how that's grown over the years. So it was a really nice event. Happy to be able to be there and to see, again, the number of students that are participating. It's also down in Tom's River for the Color Guard Championships. And that's always fun the last couple of years to watch the progress throughout the season of the team as they kind of, the performance is continually evolving, which is crazy to me. I would think you would have the performance and then you perfect it, but they like each performance is a little bit different. They ended up, I think, 9th, right? They ended up 9th, which was still, it sounds like, geez, I wish we did better, but their score was, they came up with a huge score. There was a lot of step competition. Their score was huge. Their performance was fantastic. It was a lot of fun to watch. So I want to congratulate the team, particularly the seniors, who have been working so hard and really providing the leadership for the team. And I need to make note that no matter where the performances are, and they are literally all over the state, right? Driving on a Saturday, you're all over the place. I don't think Mr. Pascal has missed a single one. So for Mr. Jandoli and Mr. McCabe, I don't know if Dennis really filled you in on who you're working for over there, but he sets a very high bar, and I wish you both good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Pascal, for all that you do.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Okay,
I just give
Oh.
one quick shout out, because I just noticed something on the agenda.
sure.
I know I'm not a board member, but.
I was gonna say, it just says additional comments, so it's fine.
Raise your right hand.
Dr.
Yes.
Good.
So I just want to give a shout out to Allie Kranick and Alyssa Cording. They're two of our high school English teachers. They are reading, they've been selected as readers for the AP Lit and AP Lang exam, which is also a huge deal. I was an AP Lang reader, so it's a huge deal. So congrats to Allie and Alyssa.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, shall we take old business? Mr. Bleeker, the minutes, I need a motion. Mr. Denise, second by Mr. Hughes. This is for the April 19th Public Works session.
Okay, Mr. Kazmarski,
Abstain.
Dr. Park,
Yes.
Ms. Saccone,
Yes.
Ms. Stavenero,
Yes.
Mr. De Silva,
Yes.
Mr. Denise,
Yes.
Mr. Gallo,
Yes.
Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
and Dr. Morphy.
Yes. All right, 17, new business. I would like to take 17A separately, and I think we will actually read the resolution today because I think it's important. Honoring Teacher Appreciation Week, whereas the strength of Mahwah Township's education system is a reflection of the teachers of this district, each of whom dedicates their time and efforts toward ensuring that every student has a chance to succeed. And whereas, while the importance of their efforts is sometimes taken for granted, teachers are shaping the next generation of citizens and entrepreneurs who will lead this nation for years to come. And whereas, in light of these contributions, it is altogether fitting and proper for the Mahwah Township Public Schools to formally honor the first full week in May as Teacher Appreciation Week, which has been annually observed as National Teacher Appreciation Week since 1985. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Mahwah Board of Education honors the work of all educators in the Mahwah Township Public Schools and expresses its sincere appreciation for their efforts and their collective and dedicated work in supporting all students of the Mahwah Township Public Schools. All right, I need a motion. Mr. De Silva, second by Mr. Gallo. Let's take a roll call.
Mr. Kazmarski,
Yes.
Dr. Park,
Yes.
Ms. Saccone,
Yes.
Ms. Stavenero,
Yes.
Mr. De Silva,
Yes.
Mr. Denise,
Yes.
Mr. Gallo,
Yes.
Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
and Dr. Morphy.
Yes, and thank you to a previous teacher on our board. We can, Miss Linda Saccone, who was a teacher for many years in our district. So we can still appreciate retired teachers as well, Miss Saccone. Thank you. All right, so now let's take new business B through X. Thank you. All right, Mr. Gallo, second by Mr. Denise. All right, any questions, any discussion? Otherwise, we'll go to vote. Okay?
Mr. Kazmarski,
I'm yes, but I'm abstaining as in past practice on T and U, although I fully support both those resolutions.
thank you. Dr. Park,
Yes.
Ms. Saccone,
Yes.
Ms. Stavenero,
Yes.
Mr. De Silva,
So I want to also call out 17T and U and thank Mr. Bleeker and Mr. Kuzmarski both for their hard work on that. And I look forward to seeing where that shared services agreement goes from here. Oh, yes.
Mr. Denise,
Yes.
Mr. Gallo,
Yes, except on 17B, I'm abstaining from checks number 111102 and 111182. Otherwise, yes on all other items.
thank you. Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
and Dr. Morphy.
Yes, and again, on T and U, thank you, Mr. Kazmarski, thank you, Mr. Bleeker, and your teams. And we look forward to continuing shared service agreements with the township. It's a win-win definitely for us, and hopefully the partnership brings benefit to both. So we thank you again. And yes. All right, new business personnel. Let's take A to SS. Mr. Kazmarski, second by Mr. Hughes. Thank you. All right, we have a lot that we're voting on. Yes, let's take our roll call, please.
For 18A through SS, Mr. Kazmarski,
Yes.
Dr. Park,
Yes.
Ms. Saccone,
Yes.
Ms. Stavenero,
Yes.
Mr. De Silva,
Yeah, so I want to call out all the number of appointments in this section. Thank Mr. Fair for his hard work in filling our open positions, and also make note of EE and congratulate our returning non-certificated, tenured certificated staff. I vote yes.
Mr. Denise,
Yes.
Mr. Gallo.
Yes, and I want to welcome Mr. Gandoli and Mr. McCabe to very important positions in our district. As you've learned, Mr. Pascal puts many miles on his vehicles. He'll soon acquaint you with the mileage reimbursement form. And we wish you the best of luck serving our students at the high school. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
I vote yes.
Thank you. Mr. Hughes
Yes.
and Dr. Morthy.
Yes. Thank you very much. And to our new administrators and Mr. Pascal, Mr. Bowe, if you would like to leave before public comment, we thank you for staying, but we know you have an early morning probably. So, but again, thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you in many future meetings. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
All right, we're going to move to public questions or comment. Public participation at board meetings is in accordance with bylaw 0167. At this time, members of the public may ask questions or make a comment on educational issues or school matters of community interest. As a matter of fairness, you are asked to limit your questions to no more than one and your remarks to no longer than 3 minutes. If you are here representing a group, please identify yourself, the group, and your position in the group. If you are here as an individual, please give us your name and address. All right, I need a motion to open to the public. Mr. De Silva, second by Mr. Gallo. All right, we are officially open to the public.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Theodoro.
Just a very quick thing. Last weekend, my daughter was a 7th grader at with Mr. Corey at Rampart Ridge. Went on a school trip with her select strings group through orchestra with Mrs. Campbell. They had a fantastic time. I think it's great that they're going back and getting back to doing those trips, and I just wanted to say thank you and continue with that. She had a fantastic time. Mrs. Campbell was great with them, and she really enjoyed it. She wouldn't let my wife come as a chaperone, but other than that, it was great. So thank you.
Dr. Theodore.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Theodore. All right, seeing no one else coming forward, motion to close to the public. Mr. Gallo, second by Ms. Acone. We will not need another executive session, so motion to adjourn. Mr. Hughes, and second by Mr. Kaczmarski. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good evening. Good evening.